you tired of the same old weekend routine? Looking for something new and exciting? Then get ready to rev your engines at Throttle and Swing, the ultimate entertainment destination at NOLA Motorsports Park. We're talking about an 80 configuration go-kart track that'll have you feeling like a pro racer. And that's just the beginning. There's also a brand new 18-hole mini golf course and a state-of-the-art arcade. When it's time to refuel, enjoy delicious craft pizza, a full kitchen, and a bar serving up unique cocktails and gourmet coffee. You can also kick back in the outdoor lawn area, complete with a playground, live music stage, a massive screen for watch parties, and free Wi-Fi. Perfect for work or play. Planning a party? Throttle and Swing has you covered for gatherings of any size. So what are you waiting for? Head over to NOLA Motorsports Park on the West Bank and experience the unmatched excitement of Throttle and Swing. Throttle and Swing at NOLA Motorsports Park. Get your adrenaline pumping.
Chocolate lovers rejoice. Scandalous Chocolates has arrived in New York with 4 sensational new varieties.
That's right. They aren't just chocolates. They're an experience. Premium edibles crafted with the finest ingredients, blending sweet and savory sophistication.
We're talking 20 milligrams premium chocolate lips, sleekly packaged, perfect for on-the-go indulgence. Nuts, fruits, caramel, it's an affair you can take anywhere.
At just $10, it's an affordable luxury. Fair trade, single origin, gluten-free, and vegan. Find Scandalous Chocolates at quality dispensaries like Travel Agency in Gotham.
Scandalous Chocolates. When you're in New York, awaken your senses and delight your palate.
The affair you could take anywhere. Scandalous. Are you looking for a unique New Orleans experience?
Check out New Orleans artist Frenchie at FrenchieLive.com.
Featuring original artworks, prints, and more. See it all at www.frenchielive.com.
Live event bookings are available. The gallery is open by appointment only.
And for private showings or parties, email info@frenchielive.com.
Experience the art. Experience the artist. Frenchie Gallery. www.frenchielive.com.
Hey, Jay, you hungry? Like really hungry?
Yeah, I'm in the mood for oysters. Hey, let's check out Trenas.
Oysters? I love oysters.
Trenas features a wide variety of local oysters. Char, grilled, baked, and on the half shell, even the famous oyster log.
Oyster log? I heard about that. You get 6 each of their signature baked oysters, plus 6 fried, all on a cypress slab?
42 oysters. We are going to love it. Trenas is located in the Hotel Intercontinental, 444 St. Charles Avenue, right on the parade route.
Sweet. When can we go?
7 days a week for lunch and dinner, plus a mimosa brunch on weekends, and happy hour daily from 3 to 6.
Happy hour? Nah, you're talking my language.
Great drinks, great wine list. An award-winning chef, Matthew Farmer, leads a team serving the best seafood in New Orleans. Trenas.
Trenas, got it. Let's go.
Walking, stepping down the street, y'all. Talking, never know who you're gonna meet. Dancing, the groove feels so good to me. Singing, wow, yes indeed, y'all. Soulful living is all we know how to do. Place on earth. I'm talking about New Orleans, the greatest place I know. My hometown, the greatest place on earth. Yeah, yes indeed, y'all.
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Only Good Vibes News Network. This is show number 69. A lot of people like that number, but I don't really know what it means.
Do you say that every time? Is it?
No, it's not 69. It's really show 69.
Okay.
Yeah, and that would be a good way to start.
Yeah,
we have some illustrious guests today, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to definitely have a good time today. We got some new guests, and we have an old friend of the family.
Back in the old chair.
Back in the old seat here. We got Mr. Star over here who's up and rising like the morning sun. So look, without any delay, let's get it started. Show started. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages. Welcome back to the Only Good Vibes News Network, your source for positive information in New Orleans, Louisiana, and beyond. Before we get started, we like to always thank some of the folks who support us, like our good friend out in Charlie Howard, who's having he's getting a hip surgery right now in Costa Rica, and Charlie, we want to wish you positive vibes and healing vibes, brother. Thanks for listening out there in Costa Rica. Our buddy Shecky, who is in France, will be coming to see you in May, Shecky. Viva la France. We'll be there to hang out. And Jack and Sherry, too. They still listen in Italy.
Jack and Sherry still tuning us in, huh?
In Italy. And
Awesome.
we're worldwide over here with these positive vibes, shooting them all across the place.
Shooting them out all over the world.
Yes, we're grateful and thankful for our sponsors, of course, for making it possible. And let's keep these good vibes rolling. But first, let's light the Palo Santos and Sage. We already got that rolling. And I've got these two cards already pulled. We just randomly pull cards out of this Zen card. It's called, David Levine has his cards, they're Zen cards. And it's just to start our day, set everybody's vibe, and get the show vibe rolling. And we have on the front it says a little word, it has a little insignia on the back. This one here says, right speech. And it says, say little, but when you speak, utter gentle words that touch the heart. Be truthful, express kindness, abstain from vanity. This is the way.
Boom.
Right speech. And then the next one is unity. Nice. We all need unity, right?
We do.
And it says unite all things. When your energies are going in the same direction, great things will happen. When you unify others, success is assured. Work in harmony with the way, and all things will flourish.
Beautiful.
So that just kind of, we just sit here and think about it. And when we pull it, most of the guests I have in mind, and this is what I had in mind for you guys. So we can take these, we do these cards all the time, and it's just no science to it besides whatever you want it to be.
I love it.
You know, and so let me introduce our guest today. The first guest that we have is these guys who come in, and they are in New Orleans, and they're from San Francisco, and they do their own podcast. And we met through a mutual friend, and we thought it'd be a fantastic idea to collaborate our forces here while they're down. They just finished doing some of their shows. It's called Only in the Green Room, where these lovely folks, they what I thought was pretty interesting was that they do interviews with the musicians in their, I would think, a critical moment. Like before or after may not be so much critical, but before and after they do the show, which I think was just something that was just super cool for somebody to be able to just talk to them before they even went ahead and did anything. You know what I mean? Before they went ahead and did a show. You'd think they'd be focused on the show a bunch, but I can't wait to get into that with these guys. And with David and with Tami.
Yep.
They're definitely
Dennis.
Dennis.
That's right.
David, Dennis.
Dennis.
How
many people-
The D word.
That's all right. A lot of D's.
Dennis, Dennis, we had a good conversation about your name and how you look, but we'll get into that also. And we got our old friend from the show and a pioneer of the show with me is my good friend, Mr. Jamie Bernstein.
Good to be back in the seat over here, and great to have you guys with us, Tami and Dennis. Ben, what gave you the idea to have this in the green room show? Have you been involved with the music business your whole life? Or
No.
What sort of attracted you to this?
So I'm going to put that on Tami, but I'll tell the story because but Tami's behind it. And
Okay.
So, and I'm behind it a little bit too. Tami has a media company, a little mom and pop, I call it, but growing media company called Mount Tam Media. And part of that was a magazine that she publishes in the town of Mill Valley, California, which is a very, has a rich history in music and culture. It's right outside the San Francisco Bay Area.
Nice.
And so that magazine was going out after, I don't know how many years. I asked if I could start writing a couple of articles on the music, about the music scene, the music industry. So that happened. And we got to know people in town. And every month, that magazine has a Mill Valley resident, and there's no shortage of them as a feature, and no shortage of amazing people in that town. So anyway, one of those feature stories was on the Sweetwater Music Hall, a venue that many know of, and many of the musicians here of New Orleans have played at, including George Porter, who we just saw last night and was there a week ago. So as a perfect example. So Tami had the idea when Sweetwater was celebrating their 50th anniversary. And this was just
Sweetwater is a brewing company, right?
No, Sweetwater Music Hall. So there's Sweetwater Brewing Company. There's the Sweetwater Musical Instrument Company.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then there's the Sweetwater Music Hall in Mill Valley. And so for 50 years, they've been entertaining in this small little club, just top-notch musicians. B.B. King, Etta James, Jerry Garcia, Elvis Costello. Can you think of some others?
Yeah, well, I mean, and this is the hometown to a lot of the, Jerry Garcia and Bob Weir and, Sammy Hagar. So a lot of the people live in Mill Valley. So this club, it was very famous because of the Village Music store, which was this guy would import all of this music. And so when musicians would come to play, even if they were playing in San Francisco, they would make the trek over to Mill Valley to go into this record store and get, specific albums they couldn't. And at the time, there was just like a restaurant sort of open window. And this guy had this idea, we need to start playing music. And so then the bar down the street said, yeah, we'll start playing it here. And then that was the initial Sweetwater, which became very sort of legendary. And then they shut down in 2007 and built a new one with an incredible sound system. And so now musicians love it. And that opened back up in 2007. But they still celebrated 50 years of music, counting the old Sweetwater, right? So all of these musicians came in for that, year of the 50th anniversary. And it just so happened, it was like around COVID. And we just happened to be living while our place was being renovated in the city, a couple blocks from Sweetwater. So Dennis literally lived there in the green room. So it was easy to do interviews. So we did, we collected 100.
And just backing up a bit, so back to the Sweetwater, getting to know the general manager, Tammy's idea, because I want to give you the credit.
Oh, well. Whoa.
Hey, how about that? Look out, it's on tape.
It's
right?
a moment.
I'm giving you credit.
69 and getting credit. I don't know.
Big day. But Tami approached Maria Hoppy, who was the GM there, and she said, Maria, what would be a great idea is if while all these musicians are coming through to celebrate Sweetwater's 50th, why don't we do a little podcast and gather their thoughts and emotions about playing at Sweetwater, being there that night and celebrating the 50 years. And she said yes. She said, yes, that's a great idea. And we did that. So for the first several shows, we didn't have the name Only in the Green Room. We were just a sort of a Sweetwater Music Hall special edition, gathering this information. And the artists had to, at that time, they were on the advances, they were required to sit and talk to us for 20 or 30
right
minutes.
in the contract. I love it.
Yeah, it was in the contract. But that didn't last long. That was only for, about half a dozen or so of those interviews. And we did it at their big anniversary show where we interviewed Jay Lane of Dead and Company and Sam Grisman, David Grisman's son of the Sam Grisman Project, and many others. But that was a notable interview. And we looked at each other after a while and said, this is kind of a cool idea. And eventually came up with the idea that we would keep doing it in the green rooms or backstage before or after a show. And it's unique. It's unique and challenging at the same time.
Very challenging.
Yeah, challenging at the same time. But we do like to separate ourselves from a Zoom interview, let's say, or somebody even coming to the studio like this. I mean, you're right, Leroy. They're getting ready for their show,
Right.
And we have to be very sensitive to that, about their time, the space, keep a low profile. But it's amazing over the years how most have agreed to do it. And I think they like it too, because they get to talk about themselves. They get to talk about the band and that kind of thing.
As I'm sitting here thinking about it, it almost solidifies the venue or some place like that with them saying this place is really top notch. They got people wanting to know what we're going to do before the show or after the show. Like we have an interview, like it's almost like if you think about sports and NFL and all, like they have to talk to the media. Now that you guys are the media, it's a different type of media, but they still having to talk to you about it. You know what I mean? And so that maybe they feel like, I think that can kind of notch it up a little bit rather than, because from what normally we think is, we call these things ants on this show. We don't like to have a lot of ants, automatic negative thoughts.
Right.
But that gets rid of a lot of those ants for them, I would think, because they would think, why would they want to interview us? But then now they're like thinking about like more of a professional level. Like I have to just talk to these folks just because it's a normal thing. That you see a lot of people getting interviewed before they go on, whether a golfer or whatever. It's mostly in sports, but music is taking it to another level there.
Well, we've had to, like, if they feel too nervous or if they didn't get their food, usually we'll try to do it in between sound check and when they go on, so it gives them enough time. But if they didn't have enough time, then they'll say, can we do it after? And so sometimes we didn't want to wait, but we end up waiting until sometimes midnight or 1, and that happened a lot.
Well, there's a lot of legwork because when you do it after sound check, that means you're there for load in to load up your stuff. So you're there with the band early, 2 PM or whatever it is, and there can be a lot of waiting that goes along with it.
That seems like that would be a sweet spot right there doing that part, because they kind of fiddling. I mean, you can talk to the musician about this, but they kind of like...
Well, the smart musician knows that you don't give the interview before, because then you guys don't have to stay for the whole show.
Yeah, thank you very much. Get the word out.
There you
Very
go.
true.
See, you got some inside information.
You want as many people in the venue for
true.
the show as possible, so
That's
you
right.
don't give the interview.
There's no Irish goodbyes,
It is. It's and I think it benefits. I don't think it does benefit them because we put the episode out. We promote the venue, the artist, and their episode. So it's kind of a win-win-win. And I think,
and we also we reboost all of these interviews. Like we'll keep track of their shows, of their tours, and sometimes we'll do a clip just to kind of write in.
Like if they're coming through or something.
If they're coming through, or just
And then to carry the story out, we decided to do it at other venues as well, because Sweetwater was changing into a nonprofit at the time, so they weren't quite ready to make us the home podcast of Sweetwater, but we are. I mean, I think
That's
it's fair
awesome.
to say. But that said, we have gone across the country. We've been to Garcia's in Chicago.
Of course, you're in New Orleans now.
We're in
New
New Orleans now.
last
Our
year we
second
came
time
last
here. We've gone to
Welcome back.
well, it's not our second time here. It's our second time here.
second
to
time doing
record.
our working. Yes, working, right? Working, and it is work. But
So, I mean, that's a little bit about what you guys do. Could you tell us a little bit about y'all and what y'all are all about? Like I know that you do the show, but when you came to got that epiphany, you're like, hey, wait a minute, we could do this show. Like, what made you feel like this had content and you can run with this and be a bridge to certain things?
Well, I mean, initially, so the magazine, when I pull out or I come up with a story every month and I find a resident, I mean, we have plenty of very well-known, famous residents in Mill Valley, California.
Doesn't Tom Waits live up there in
I believe Tom Waits. I mean, there's so many.
he was a regular at
and
the
you find out just more and more. So, but sometimes I'll pull up residents that maybe people have seen, but they don't know a lot about. Like with Sammy Hagar, when I did his feature in the magazine, I focused on the B side, which is his philanthropy side. So just trying to educate the community about one another. And there's a lot of new, younger tech, millennials moving in there, and the older people are like, "Come on, you've got the old deadheads," and so I really wanted to do a podcast initially to kind of carry that from the magazine to a podcast. It was supposed to be called The Other Side of the Mountain, talking about the positive, different alternatives to things that people were doing that weren't working in life, right? So that's why I love your show about good vibes, because that was sort of the initial. But then when we had this idea, we thought we were going to do it for the Sweetwater, but then it took on a life of its own. So this became the podcast, and I've put the other one sort of a little on the back burner.
Because I feel those undertones of positive vibes in your show, even though it doesn't really say positive vibes, but the feel of you guys, the energy is good vibes. Like you're looking for good things to talk to them about. Like looking for a shoe to drop or anything, so to speak.
Exactly.
I guess that's
we're not
what
trying to fearmonger.
I tell them, the line I use with them before we start, if it comes up, I say, this is not an expose. It's a conversation, kind of like this, right?
Right.
I mean, it's a conversation, and we're chatting, and by and large, that's what happens. So, no, we're not, you say interview, it's not like we're digging in and trying to find stuff out. We're trying to find out what makes them tick, what's their positive energy, what's their positive vibe. That's certainly everything it's all positive.
it comes across like that.
And
Our slogan is putting good vibes in people's lives.
Oh,
Yes.
love that.
There you go.
Tag. I love that.
So I think it's just inherently a positive thing, and for the two of us personally, it's immensely positive.
Yeah.
I've been in a career working as an attorney for almost 40 years, and when this first started, I thought, it'd be nice to do something positive.
Still listening to people complain
Seriously,
all day.
I mean, something positive and giving back, because I do think we're also archiving some great moments and preserving that and helping the people out. Like I said, the venues and the artists. So for me personally, it was sort of my second career. Moving on. I mean, I've been in radio a little bit here and there as a lawyer. I worked at the college radio station. I did a radio show as an attorney, as a guest for several years. Always kept my mitts in it, but never dove right in like I am now.
That's exactly what I wanted to get like behind the curtains of who you guys were. And I mean, it's very organic and very grassroots, kind of like this show. You know what I mean? Like, you guys just said, we're going to flow with the current. And it seems like we wanted to go this way, but maybe it's pushing us in this direction.
We'll talk about unity, right? Us being here. I mean, this is
The cards always work.
always work.
So true.
And I went the law school or the law firm, law career route after working 2 years while in law school, or 3, at a local radio station in San Francisco, KSFO, which at the time was extremely popular. It was the flagship station for the Giants and the 49ers, then became that of the A's and Stanford football. So I loved that, and it never left me. I did some producing, I did some promotions, I did some voiceovers, but then I went into this other career, but I never let go of it.
Right.
And
Broadcasting's already sort of baked into your being.
Yeah. And so I just felt very comfortable doing this, and here we are.
Well, you guys doing a heck of a job. How many shows have you already done?
I believe we have 51 or 2.
Well, no, we have the 51 published, but we have like 120, that are timeless, right? Most of our interviews, or they can be, they might bring up a current show, but they're pretty timeless. So we have still like 60 some we haven't published.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
We may have that many in the can. I think, close to it.
That's
probably.
what I was going to say. I mean, it gives a new meaning to shows in the can.
That does.
69.
Yeah. Well, that some of them could be short. Sometimes we'll put 3 people together and make an episode. It depends. But what we do is we kind of look into the can and say, okay, what's coming up? What's a good time to release this?
Like Stanton Moore.
Well, for example, we interviewed Garage et Trois, which was Stanton Moore, Skerrick, and Charlie Hunter together. Early on, and it's still sitting in the can.
Really?
And we're like, okay, we're going to see Stanton this Friday at the Maple Leaf and Skerrick. And so here we go. Here's a chance to get that out and maybe combine it together with what we get from them.
Wow, that is amazing.
So that's when you say timeless, I think that's exactly what you mean.
You guys are always dealing with people who are in the public eye very much, and you yourselves even as podcasters. But do you ever find yourself starstruck? Do you ever feel like, wow, I've got to do an interview with this guy. He's my idol.
I don't. I've learned over the years that we all put our pants on the same way, type of thing. Yeah. So I don't get too starstruck.
There hasn't been anybody who's kind of taken you, like even surprised you a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? One of those could be recent, and that would be just 2 days ago when Jonathan McHugh, Loyola University. Great shout out to him for helping us set up.
He's a friend of the show.
At the French Quarter Fest.
Yeah, Jonathan
and
McHugh,
the museum. So
University,
our little green room was set up in the New Orleans Jazz Museum outside the Esplanade in the Shade stage, sponsored by Loyola. And So we had these interviews set up, and all of a sudden, the Legacy Coalition was playing, and all of a sudden, Jonathan came upstairs to our room in the museum and said, "Hey, Cyril Neville's coming up. You guys okay with that?" And I said, "Okay." So yeah, I get that would be an example where I went,
So
Well, plus we weren't prepared, right? This was one of them. That it was just like,
uptown ruler.
Cyril's a big deal.
Yeah.
I thought so. And I didn't have time, Jamie, to really get too nervous about it or think about it, because it was like, he's coming, adjust the mics, adjust the cameras, et cetera, get some questions going in your head.
Nice.
But he would be one. I'm trying to think of some others that we,
you were pretty
I mean,
that's a perfect example.
I just, when we went to Garcia's in Chicago, Holly Bowling was our guest, and she was amazing. But we were super stoked to go to that venue. There's a couple of venues that fit that bill. The Capitol Theater in Port Chester, New York, which is an iconic theater, sort of in our scene especially. We were really stoked to do that.
If you could interview anybody at this year's Jazz Fest, we're about to go into the big season now. If there was one person that you could pull out right as they got off stage, and
Stevie Nicks.
It's Stevie Nicks for you.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
I would have said that too, but Tyler Childress comes to mind too. Yeah. I think those, and unfortunately they're playing, side by side at the same time during the festivals.
Now, are you guys going to be at the festival doing post interviews there as well?
No.
Mainly like the in-between shows. We have Broadside and Maple Leaf. And so and it's great. And then the Bayou Rendezvous View. Is that I'm going to get that right?
This year. Yeah,
we're doing that festival.
We are not, I want to also give some thanks to Luther Dickinson, who we interviewed probably 3 years ago. And I went to visit him when he came back to Sweetwater, and I gave him a hat. I said, "Here, a Music Heals International hat. I'm the president of Music Heals International," which is a whole nother story.
Thank you for that.
It's a beautiful organization. Sarah Wasserman, our founder and executive director, is amazing. Wow. We teach music programs to kids in Haiti, in India, Venezuela. So that's
a good vibe, man. We got
there you go.
Great vibe right there. That's a show.
Yeah.
So I went back and gave him Luther an MHI, Music Heals International hat. I said, "Hey, Luther, here's a hat. We're starting to give them out to people." And I said, "Oh, by the way, we're going to go to New Orleans and do some of the after shows. We have this idea." And he said, "Let me hook you up." So he said, "Do not do the Jazz Fest. Even try for that, the main production, right?
Because OZ's got that on lock."
Yeah, and it's just they have that, and just the whole production is. I don't know if I want to say corporate, but something of that nature.
However, we do get the press passes, right? So that's nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we got the press passes.
Yeah.
So
might have to Only Good Vibes News Network might have to get some of those press
Get
passes.
on that.
Did you know you just apply online for the press pass? We had it in 2 days. So we had two press passes to just tell them what you do.
Yeah.
And they give you
I definitely will.
Yeah, there you go.
Better hurry up.
All right, yeah.
Better hurry up.
I know.
Well, I'm gonna re-engineer the question that Jamie asked you in a different way. Do you have a moment during the show you will never forget?
Yes, during the moment of one of our podcast episodes, I think it has to be, to me, and it's still to this day, has to be when we interviewed
Jay Lane.
Well, Jay Lane was a good one.
I thought you were talking about okay, go ahead. I'll just
I mean, no, I'm thinking of, and I'm forgetting her name, the 7-time Grammy Award winning.
Well, there's Sierra Farrell.
Sierra Farrell.
Oh, that was great.
Excuse me, Sierra. Yeah, you're like on the top of my
girl
mind.
from West Virginia.
Yeah, she's
so
amazing.
Sierra, we do festivals as well. So, and we did the a Sound Summit Festival in Mill Valley one year, and Sierra was up and comer. I had not heard of her. We listened to her music that morning a little bit to get an idea. The head of the festival, Michael Nash, said, "Yeah, I couldn't really set that one up in advance. So, if you want to try, go ahead." Well, sure enough, and this is kind of my way.
Yeah.
We got her to do it, and not even got her. She was very willing to come and sit down with us.
Sure.
So she sits down with us, and she even said, "I'll come back later if you want, y'all." That whole thing. And so she sat down. She was really cute, and playing in the background was Lord Huron at the time. So they were also on the bill, Lord Huron. Ben Schneider is the lead singer of Lord Huron. And she's interviewing with us like this backstage. It's the stage is a little bit far away, but not so far that you can't hear it, which is always a challenge for us too. And all of a sudden she said, "Oh my God, y'all, Ben just said my name." Ben, right? She goes, and then she went to this thing about she had a crush on him. She's been admiring his music for all these years. And we started the conversation down that road. And then all of a sudden he started his song, and she stopped in the middle of our interview and harmonized with him.
She's like, "Oh my God, that's my favorite song." And so you could hear, so she's singing with him, but she's singing in harmony. So you could, it's
Right.
just
You had a magic. You had
it was
magic lightning in a bottle right there.
Yeah.
So now we kind of asked them to sing.
That's a hard one to forget for sure.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Yeah, so
Anyway.
that was something I'll never forget. I have to say,
What a wonderful memory. Thanks for
especially
sharing that.
and especially since she then the next year she went on to win 4 Grammys. So
Wow.
She's really.
And I think you guys had something to do with that.
yeah, nothing.
We say that.
She went on the street. She didn't get that
We
4
told
day
people it's
streak
like,
again.
well, we interviewed
You
a lot.
you get the green room bump. You know?
Well, yeah,
That's
you
right.
may get on Jimmy Kimmel. I'm not sure about it. We've had a few.
Because
that have been
she went on to do Jimmy Kimmel.
So the other question Jamie asked, I'm gonna kind of switch up on you too. Not only here at Jazz Fest, like somebody you wanted to, what about just a bucket list in general of a person that you guys hadn't had on a podcast yet, but you would like to get on a podcast? Anybody?
you go. I have some in mind, but you go.
Well, I mean, I think,
be more than one.
and this is low-hanging fruit for us because he performs at the Music Heals International.
Oh, Lucas Nelson.
Lucas Nelson.
Oh,
he's
Lucas, yeah.
he's
And
next.
he's a sweet guy.
And I love his philosophy and his,
Lucas-
Sounds like his dad.
yeah,
he
sounds.
does. We're going to see him tomorrow night.
So he's,
And I've met Lucas a couple of times, so it's not as aspirational as some that would be like, "Oh my God, how could this ever happen?" But I'd love to have Lucas on. He is
You hear that, huh, Lucas?
Yes,
I know you
Lucas.
listen to Only Good Vibes News Network.
all the time.
Lucas is full of good vibes.
Yeah.
That's a guy you should have. I mean, he is the vibes. We just honored him. He's a big part of Music Heals International. He was there with Sarah Wasserman when the whole concept began. He went to Haiti and helped the
Sean
kids
Penn
with
and
Sean
Lucas.
Penn. And we honored him in Nashville last year with a special award for the 10 years of service and playing at our benefits. And he was surprised by it. He was performing, but then he didn't realize we were also honoring him. And his humility, I'll never forget what he said. It's just like, I do these things for people very selfishly, because it makes me feel good.
That's great.
It makes him feel good when he's helping people. And that's just the surface.
That's
with
one
him.
of the things that I tell people, like helping people is an inside job. It
Yeah.
really is. It really is.
And he was unabashedly saying that, and he was so touched by it. It was really a great moment. So they're coming out. Well, I can't say too much more about that when they're coming out again, but he is a regular a supporter of our benefits. So when that happens,
Fantastic.
in San Francisco.
So tell me about yours, your bucket list.
You know,
It could be more than one person too.
You keep thinking I have one. I want to.
well, I mean, Lucas
Get in there.
Nelson. Lucas
Get in
Nelson.
there.
I keep-
Well, Lucas was
Oh, it's
kind
okay.
of mine. That was.
That's
That was
Italian. No. You gotta
yeah.
take it back.
There's so many, and you know,
Oh, wait.
and sorry, okay.
But you're good. You're
breaking
good. You're
all
good.
the equipment.
Right.
Yeah,
There is good.
That's me
You know,
talking with my hands.
That's okay.
So you suggested Lucas Nelson, but which is a great
Yeah,
one.
Lucas is my. Would
And then you have to have another one. But mine is, I don't know why, Susan Tedeschi.
Is there,
Oh, yeah, Susan.
Susan
Yeah.
Tedeschi. I've just had and this has happened before. I had my eye on Margot Price for some time. I said, we're gonna get Margot Price. And sure enough, we got Margot Price. So Susan Tedeschi, we want you on the show. All right,
I have
that's,
one.
I'm done.
Okay.
If we can call to the other side, George Harrison would have been my favorite.
Oh, okay. So that's like a From Beyond.
That would have been my number one first choice.
Yeah, I'm not sure
For
why.
sure.
Come back a little bit, maybe. Yeah.
Are we going to talk about you
Living
guys
or
then?
dead, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to flip
No,
the
I'm
script
just,
now?
I'm just,
We'll flip it soon. I hear
I'm just
about-
wondering,
we'll-
Tammy, if you know of anybody that's alive. We've never talked about this. Who do you want?
Well,
That's
you know,
alive. Come on.
Well, it's so funny because I'm more about like the other side of the mountain series, which was more not so many musicians, but just in general, amazing people, and I don't know.
Who you got,
It's
Tammy?
hard.
Come on.
Let me
Okay,
think.
well, I'll hit you
let me
guys
come
with-
back to that because
Yeah,
I have
we'll come
so
back
many
to that.
people.
We're gonna come back to
Put
that.
a pin in the dream
Yeah.
guest.
Yeah.
We'll get back to
I
that.
already pulled out two. so.
Anything exciting you guys working on you want to tell us about that you can tell us about? Or down the road?
Well, one thing is we're going to be embedded at the High Sierra Music Festival.
David Margulies.
He's amazing.
Shout out one time. Good dude
We
right
just
there.
saw the location, the new location. We just went and scouted that.
Nice.
And
That's right. It's not in Quincy anymore, huh?
It's not in Quincy.
Correct.
It's in Grass Valley, which is right by Nevada City. Have you been there?
No, never.
I hadn't either. And I was like, okay, Nevada City is incredible. It's super cool.
It's going to be so amazing because first of all, the grounds, which we just saw, were great. Had a great vibe. I mean, total
Yeah.
positive vibe when you walked in. But there are hotels and Airbnbs, et cetera,
wow.
plentiful, which was not
Yeah, that's
available.
going to be a big deal because I slept in a car.
Yeah. Not available
I think we were
at
doing like
Quincy. There are like 6 rooms
Yeah.
or something, a little more than that. But
a lot of people sleep in cars.
it's the lineup is fantastic. But we went last year and interviewed some great folks, Amy Helm and Andy Fresco.
Wow.
Trying to think who else.
Fresco's a pretty good comedian too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. He was hilarious. We interviewed him
He got
outside.
flashed as we were interviewing him. Some woman walked by and like pulled her shirt up. So these are things that happen, right? So,
That's awesome. That seems just like him.
But High Sierra to anybody, and the thing is the connection between the New Orleans music, because of Dave, really, I guess, but for other reasons, the connection between the High Sierra lineup and New Orleans based music is very
intertwined.
tight,
Oh, yeah.
intertwined,
Yeah.
and there's a big, there's probably at least 7 or 8 people here that we'll interview that are going to be at High Sierra. So we're totally excited about that.
That's amazing. You guys must have that happen often. Like you're going around and because like if you talking to someone in California and they're a good musician and there's like Jazz Fest here or there's something in some place where everyone has to go to, like a High Sierra or whatever. A lot of those musicians are going to be kind of getting refiltered because they're good.
Totally.
And you guys build relationships with them and everything. Which leads me to my next question. Is there a life lesson you've learned through creating this show?
Patience.
Patience is a good one, yeah, and
Big time. Listening, because I'm a talker and having to.
And perseverance. I mean, you just
Listen.
my life lesson here is just keep following your heart on something. And this is something that's been passionate for both of us. And every time I think this is too hard, I never think we're going to stop. And there was a time when I said to Maria at Sweetwater, once we really started rolling a little bit, I looked at her, I said, we're in for it now, aren't we? Because I knew I wasn't going to stop. I knew we weren't going to stop.
Yeah.
Because it
And
would
we're
be-
both still holding down our other jobs. So
Yes, but still, it's so. I think it's just the life lesson is there's a keep following your passion, I guess, and things will open up. There's the great Golden State Warrior basketball coach Steve Kerr. I heard him say, and many have said this, I guess, but it's amazing when you follow your passion how many doors open up for you, and that has absolutely.
Oh yeah.
happened to us. I mean, it's like you saw it last night.
And how I mean, and that's
Yeah.
that's all about you.
Everywhere we go.
Right? Isn't
I mean,
that your
like,
whole thing? Is like
I have a gigantic Rolodex, right? And I always wanted to be considered a network, a universal networker, meaning like everything in the universe, I can network people together to put them together. Like that, there you go, uniting people together. All your energies you put. That was last night. Mm-hmm. We went to we were on Maple on Oak Street to go see George. This guy, I remember I told you the producer for iHeartRadio.
Oh yeah.
it's a rich.
Yes.
Yeah, he's Rich.
Rich. I
Rich.
said,
Rich was there. He was really trying to push a lot of stuff with Dylan, trying to help Dylan get his career off the ground.
Nice.
But Dylan popped in, and
yeah.
these guys had a lot of mutual friends. They were talking, and hopefully we can get together and do some things, whatever it is. We can help each other, and that's why I look at it like,
Yeah. For sure.
And one of the things that I wanted to ask you guys about that whole situation is, you got anything going on this weekend, like the Suspects?
Oh, do we? Yes, we do. Well, so we have the New Orleans Suspects.
Okay.
So that is going to happen. I'm going to test my memory here, but I should know by now that on, I believe it's Monday, the 27th, The New Orleans Suspects will be at the Broadside as part of, and Tami mentioned it, the Bayou Rendezvous. Now it's called Days View because it's the Days View.
And it's the inaugural. It's the inaugural for that.
It's the inaugural for that.
Right. Yeah.
So we will be interviewing. We've already interviewed Omari and Cyril. We've interviewed Jake and River
Twice now.
we had them last year as well, and then we're going to we interviewed Mark Mullins.
Good.
The other day.
Him and I went to high school. Him and his wife, and we all went to high school.
Really?
together.
He
Great
seems
school.
like a great.
His kid's good too.
One of the
Yeah,
nicest
it's
guys.
cool.
Yeah,
One of the
Michael.
nicest
Zeta.
guys.
We haven't interviewed Michael yet.
So Michael is going to be, and then the rest of the band, whoever else wants to come with us, but we've already set it up with Michael there at the Bayou Rendezvous. Also that day, we have a guest co-host, Wally Ingram. You guys may know Wally.
Okay.
Wally is a drummer extraordinaire, percussionist that is everywhere. And he's agreed to be our guest co-host interviewing Eric Krasno
Oh, nice.
on Monday.
So Dylan told me this not too long ago. He told me this last night that Dylan is going to be working guitar tech for Krasno.
Oh, wow.
Right on.
At this festival here?
Yeah, like for a couple of days.
Okay.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, he's going to be driving him around, tuning his guitar, doing some things.
So-
which is really,
Great
really
for
cool.
Dylan, yeah.
So his band is called Circo.
Circo.
So I know, yeah. We're interviewing him.
We couldn't get him at the French Quarter Fest, but so we talked last night.
Thanks to
and we're
Leroy.
trying to figure out where to do it. Now I know we're going to do it at the Broadside when he's there carrying.
That's right.
perfect.
That's
His
great.
guitar.
That's
You
great.
can.
Yeah.
Right?
You
Yeah.
can. That'll be something good to be talking to him about.
And it'll give you a little different perspective, too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So Jamie, you got any questions? I'm gonna give him a little lanyap rundown after. If you have any other questions, but if not,
No, it's just been great talking with you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming to our city and for
Yeah.
contributing to our culture, because
We love it.
Without people like you coming from outside to spread the culture to new places, to show this this way of life, if you will, to other people, it wouldn't continue to exist. So we really need culture bearers like you, in the mix and on our team.
Thank you. We love it here.
100% that.
We love it
Now,
here.
eventually, this is going to flip flop. But
That's
after
right.
these lanyap questions, then you guys can
Okay.
interview us.
Sure.
That should be fun. So these are quick questions. You don't have to you can pick more than one answer, but it's just like kind of a speed round, but not really. The most interesting genre that you guys would like to talk
Genre,
to.
as a new genre
Yeah.
outside of what we're doing now.
I mean, or in this one, with country music, jazz musicians, or whatever, any genre musician that you guys enjoy, like hip hop. I mean, there's so many different, like New Orleans
it's so
jazz, or when you were in California, Deadhead music. Like,
Well, we
which one
have
your
that.
a fun genre? Not that you like one more than the other genre.
I mean, the bluegrass genre,
Is
I
it?
think, is a lot of fun for me.
Billy Strings is bringing so much attention to that.
Broken
There you go.
Leg.
We have a whole story about that too.
Newgrass, right? That's what they
Newgrass.
with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one. Being around the whole Grateful Dead scene and growing up in that scene myself.
You kind of look like a Grateful Dead person.
Thank you.
Does he? I think he looks like a manager.
I don't know. Well, let's change that. So,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but Leroy says that to me wearing a Dancing Bear sticker on his headphone.
Of course, right?
And last night with a full-on Grateful Dead
Always with the
sweatshirt.
Yeah.
So,
The brownest hippie you ever seen.
yeah, that's it.
That's what my wife says.
Yeah.
What about you, Tami? Same?
I'll tell you, I'm going to not truly answer that question because I'm one of I like so many different genres of music, right? If it's good, I like it. But there was a band, and we didn't get to hear all of them, so it's not like we're picking one out of all the
Correct.
other Loyola. So let me preface by saying that. But Kissing Disease, have you heard of them? So she's like a cross between Annie Lennox. So it's this girl Maddie, and four guys, and they look like the Beatles did back in like 19 whatever.
The Beatles with
60.
Uma Thurman, Thurman leading.
and she's got
singer.
this crazy, but her stage presence, and she's like brutally shy off stage. But when she gets on stage, and she said, like, if I'm not singing, if I don't get to perform, I feel like I'm gonna crawl out of my skin. But she, on stage, we have some B-roll, but I promise you, they are. And I said, if we had a label, we'd be signing them right now.
Wow, you heard that kissing disease.
There you go.
Yeah, kissing disease, and so you have to listen to the interview. And then they were so cute, and this is partly why I love what we do. So at one point, we're like, "So you guys want to sing?" We were telling the story about somebody else singing, and so sure enough, one of the guys goes and gets a guitar. And the boy starts, she didn't want to do it. So the boy starts singing, and it was like terrible. It was just, I'm like, this is what you guys do, because they all live together, right? And
She was
but
mortified.
they are one to watch, because whoever signs that group, they're on their way
That's awesome.
for
It was
sure.
really- it was really
and it's
cute.
kind of punk and Annie Lennox. Who would you do?
Yeah, I don't know. It was
Just a cross
you gotta
between different
listen.
genres.
But it was really cute because she said, I am just, she had so much confidence on stage and was such a performer. And I asked her a little bit about that. She goes, I'm great when I'm up there, but it's like this situation.
She's like, I hate it.
hate it.
That's a good thing
Normally
you
it's
just perform.
flip-flops.
Yeah.
Normally it's a
Yeah.
flip-flop.
Yeah.
Like they can relax and then they get in front of the people.
Yeah.
She loved the people. So before we go any further to the next question, I want to send out some truly healing and positive vibes to Billy Strings. He
I
broke his
know.
leg riding a
no,
skateboard.
I didn't hear about
Just saw
that.
that
He was
last
riding a
night.
skateboard out on like the end of the concert that he was at, like just towards the end to sing a song, and broke his leg on a
Yeah,
skateboard.
we were looking at that.
And
last
if you
night.
don't know, if you want to see the details, he's put all the
it's all on Instagram.
X-rays
Yeah,
on his
it's in
Instagram
X-rays
with
and
the
everything.
screws in there and
I'm gonna
everything.
check him out.
Yeah,
Wow, that's a
yeah.
pretty bad break.
The screws
It
are
is.
brutal.
Yeah, brutal.
As soon as you said that, I was about to mention it. But yeah, good
Favorite
job.
festivals? Margulies are going to kill you.
I'm
if you
going to
don't
go
say
High
that.
Sierra.
I was just joking.
We love High Sierra.
I'm not, this is no bullshit.
Yeah.
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 High Sierra. Yeah. Amazing festival.
Yeah.
We've been to a lot of them. But
What do you think about Jazz Fest?
I mean, Jazz Fest, I think, is crowded.
Uh-huh.
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind, I think it's tough to maneuver. And
You got the inside track with Dave, too. I
yeah.
mean, like, if you were buddies with Quint, well, he's not really the guy anymore, but, you
Yeah.
know, you
Yeah.
had that same... Margulies was doing the French Quarter, the Jazz Festival. You'd be like...
Well, yeah. I
It's
think
just
it's
about access with you guys, I'm thinking. but-
intimacy. I think
yeah.
it's the like French Quarter Fest. I love French Quarter
It's a
Fest.
great
It was our
price.
first time. I'm like, yeah,
great price.
That's a
right.
great price.
I
But
love
Jazz
that.
Fest, the whole concept of Jazz Fest is off the charts. It's amazing. It gets everybody here. People in the Bay Area, you going to Jazz Fest? It's just a thing. So no matter really who's playing, just the
Right.
whole vibe again
Yeah.
around here for the 2 weeks is a place you want to be. The shows itself are great too. If you can get, it's just that's my opinion on it. It's
It's
tough
when you
to-
don't have the right
it's tough to maneuver in there. And, some of the artists that we wanted to see are all playing at the same time at different stages,
Yeah,
but listen,
that's
that's not a real problem, is it?
You better
That's
cut this part out. Since
So,
we're in New Orleans.
you asked me.
So, favorite foods?
Oh, Thai food.
Italian. Strozzulo is my last
And
name.
then favorite New Orleans tradition?
I'm going to go with music, and not beignets.
Yeah, that's a good one.
One I want to see, because I was watching all of these documentaries about New Orleans recently, is that the band, the Indians
Mardi
and
Gras
the
Indians.
Mardi Gras Indians.
Yes.
Yes.
That's something that
I want to.
I'm a sixth generation New Orleanian, and there's still a lot of stuff that I'd like to know. I just had Monk Boudreaux's son on right before this show here. He was our last episode, 68, and he introduced me to some and told me some really cool things.
Yeah.
There's also another one that you should look at if you're interested in that. It's the oldest crew, Mardi Gras crew in New Orleans, and it's Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones is this merchant marine that came from South Africa in 1819, and he started masking, and he would go around. It's basically like an African, like they'd go around and they scare people. They wear like skulls and they dress in the bones, and they go around and they scare the people into doing the right thing is what their goal was. So they go out and telling kids and telling adults, do the right thing, because everybody's got to die. It's all of the one equalizer. So when you do die, you're going to have to see them. So get your life in order before you go and see them is their whole mantra.
I wrote a great song about this whole tradition with one of our guests, Derek Freeman, who's been on the show a few times. And
shout out to Freeman.
Shout out to Friedemann and the Shadow People podcast. But it's called "You'll Be Next." Because the idea is like you're death personified in the streets, warning people about their own mortality.
Right. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
It's like reminds me of like Scared Straight.
Well, actually, it's called. The song is called. The chorus is "You'll Be Next," but the song is called "Open Your Eyes." It's from the Soul Brass Band.
Wow.
Very nice.
Yeah, you guys should check out Shadow People with Nigel Hall and Derek Freeman. Both of those guys.
Got it.
They're taking off with their podcast. And then there's 2 more questions. Random, relevant, trendy question that you always ask people. Like, how we asking you, like, some trendy, normal question that you ask everybody. What is it?
Go ahead.
I'm deferring to you.
No, I just answered the last
How
question.
did you get started?
Yeah.
What's on your playlist?
That's a good one. That is something.
What's on your playlist? What are you listening to now?
Right.
And we have learned so much.
And we have so much
expanded our horizons by listening to these musicians who are expanding their own horizons by listening to something you would never think of.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's the last one, and then you guys can take over the mics. Words of wisdom for the world.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Get off social media, get offline and get outside and, in-person community, just get out of that silo. Unplugged. Well, I started this whole thing years ago I wrote this whole script called Unplugged. It was like back when we should have unplugged. It's a long story, so I won't go into it. But 100%. It's the only way we're going to get through this.
Amen.
And New Orleans should know this better than really any other place, and certainly the country with everything you guys have been through. But when people come together, and it's really difficult to be angry at someone when you're standing in front of them and you're talking to them face to face. It's really hard not to like them, and you have to try, right?
Yep.
And so that's it.
Is that the same thing?
Well, I totally agree with that one. We talk about it a lot, but one love. I mean, I just think we're all connected.
Yes.
And so, I think unity was the unity on that card.
See
today.
both of those cards, the right speech, all that stuff.
Yeah, and the right speech. Yeah, don't talk so much.
Yeah.
But just trust the universe, as I said earlier, and we're just all one. We're just all one.
Big thing. Yeah.
Existing together. Yeah.
One of the things that I would say on a note that you were talking about is if you have empathy, humility, and compassion for yourself first, but you have it for others, you can't be upset with some people. If you think about that,
right.
Like if somebody pissed you off or whatever, and then you have empathy, humility, and compassion for them, you're literally just putting yourself in their position, and that way, the anger is gone. Right, you can't get pissed off if you it's like, oh well, maybe they just didn't know any better, or well, maybe they just don't know.
Who knows what happened to them?
And then you feel like that anger leaves. Yeah. But that's been great, guys, and we're just gonna hand this show over to you guys, and Jamie and I will sit here and you can rally back.
We'll field this other side of the conversation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so what's your favorite? No, I'm kidding.
Go ahead. You want to use these questions? You can.
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting us here and letting us share your equipment.
I know, it's
kinda
great not using our
So
equipment. Just
start all over again.
Sit down and go, right?
Yeah.
The producer's
Aim and
doing
shoot.
it.
I want to say first to I'll start with Jamie, because what you said, thanking us for coming and helping share the sort of the culture of New Orleans. It's our privilege, really, to do that. We feel honored to be part of this in any little way that we are. So you're welcome, but we totally feel privileged. And Leroy, man, the positive vibes. I mean, you don't even have to have a podcast that says that. You just are.
He's living the
You
dream
feel
over
his
here.
energy when he's walking down the sidewalk. He'd be like 100 yards away. It's like,
Yeah, so I just, I mean, it's amazing. And I guess,
I think, should we, let's start with, let's tell your story. I want to hear your story.
Okay.
Both of you. And maybe kind of, if you want to talk to each other when you're talking about it. I'm sure you've had to tell a story a few times, but.
Well, honestly, I'm here because Leroy had this idea. from the get-go that basically 90% of the news that's reported is about negative things going on in our world.
Yeah.
And that there's really only a very small percentage of people doing all these negative things. So they're getting all of the attention. So his idea was to shine this light to give people a platform, people who are doing positive things in the world instead of doing negative things.
Right.
And I thought that was such a great idea. And I have a lot of experience in broadcasting and in theatrical stuff and movies and things like that. So I knew how to use the equipment and stuff. So he enlisted me. He's sort of walking around with his dream for maybe 20 years, 30 years. And I said, look, I know how to make this come to life. He said, could you help me? And I did. And here we are doing it.
That's why he's always going to be a part of this show, and always like, when you have finding people who are with you in that fight when you first start off, like regardless if they branch out and get bigger, because that's the goal. Everybody's goal is to get bigger and to do things and to broaden their throat and their awareness of people, especially in a musician as he is, and a producer and an actor. I mean,
I'm a manifester. I like to bring things to life in our world and into reality. I love having conversations with people who think that they are just holding on to dreams and saying, no, wait a second.
Yeah.
This can exist in the real world. And then, having it happen and then be sitting in a situation like that where your work is manifested in actuality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if your work is not even there. Like if it's just not something that you even did yet. Like I guess a lot of music that you go to help people with, they never wrote a song before, and you help them write a song, or they never produced something and you teach them how to produce. And again, that helping, it comes right back to that same thing again. Helping people is an inside job. Jamie clearly gets a lot out of helping people, so he keeps on doing it. How I came up with the idea of the Only Good Vibes News Network was simply because this guy asked me 20-something years ago in Costa Rica, why is America so angry? He was from Italy. And I was like, man, kind of broke my heart. It didn't it did, right? So I was like, that sucks, because I let people go, why do you love people? And why do you say you love things that you don't even know? Because people hate things they don't know, and it's okay. So I can say I love things that I didn't know. Like I'm a Native American and African American. When I say I love America, people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what happened to the Indians and slaves? I do. But that doesn't mean that every single person has to hold on to that stigma. And I'm a person that lets people know that I may forgive you, but I won't forget. Like I don't forget that they did that to them. I'm not like oblivious to what happened. But I don't hold it and carry it. One of these sayings that I like to use is, life is not meant to be carried. Right. It's meant to go through us. Meaning, like if something bad happens to you, or good, don't carry it the whole time. Just let it come through you like a wave. And the wave is a great analogy because you can't carry a wave. Right. But you can feel what it does. And that's like life. You had some ups, we have some downs, we have some in between. So you just let those waves go through you and learn. You
could ride a wave.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah.
But one of the things that made me the most, because I have a real job that I do. This is a real job too. And I'm not saying like it's not a real job, but I get paid. I get paid at this other job. Yeah. And I've been doing it for 18 years. I do payment processing everywhere in the U.S. in 30 different countries, but this is something that's inside of me. It's something that has been inside of me. So I was like, bought the domain name rights after this guy called me, and after he asked me that.
How long ago was that?
Like 20 years.
20 years, man.
Oh, wow. I was going to say, how did you get that?
That's before buying domains was even a thing.
Well, the thing that's
when it first was.
That's when it first was a thing.
Well, I had a squatter. He still's a squatter now. He's a friend of mine. Before I did that, I had this magazine. It was called Direct Mail. I did a direct mailing magazine. It was called Uptown Connection and French Quarter Connection. I'd mail out these. You want to talk about stress? 16 pages of blank paper. You start off with each month. And when you sign that first ad for the first quarter page, half page, or whatever, pressure.
You got to fill it up.
Right. Oh, yeah. Because if not, nobody's going to ever buy from you again. Right.
Tammy can relate.
Selling advertising is like, yeah.
Right. So
I've
I
had
did
to do
all
that
that
too.
stuff.
Yeah.
And I just was like, man, it really does make me feel good to do this, but it's just really a stressed out job. So I'm like, I'm going to do something else. And so I went to do the payment processing. And once I did payment processing, I still felt like there wasn't I still had more to do. And I felt like, what is it? Like for the longest time, I was just like, what am I going to do? Like education really just kept hitting me. And I never really haven't done anything with educating kids yet so much. But I just said to myself, I was upset about the condition of the world and the way that people accept news. So why don't I do something about it rather than complain about it? Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to go with a neurological approach on showing people how to stay positive, because I really have that. Like when I was a kid, I tell this story a lot of times. When I was a kid, I was about 8 years old. Now, just certain stories just stick with you. I was sitting there, we were eating. I didn't know my dad until I was 18 years old. I have a great life, an amazing life, a literally amazing life. And I never felt like sad or bummed out. And I often wonder, I was like, why am I not pissed? I don't have a dad. I don't know my dad. And I started thinking it's my mom's family. Funny. And that was really just really important in my life to helping me see the way that I see now. And one of the biggest things that I go back to remind me was we were eating eggs and rice one night for dinner. And I was like, are we poor? And they were like, what do you mean, are we poor? And I'm like, this is breakfast food. We should be eating dinner, like other food. And they would change me like this. And this is how I am in my life now every day. They go, Leroy, some people don't have eggs and rice. They don't have a table. They don't have color TV. They don't have air conditioning. And this one really got me. They don't have their own room. And when they said that, I was like, we're rich.
There you go.
I really believe that in my heart.
Yeah.
That at that point, from feeling sorry for myself, not looking down on other people, but I was like, wow, I am really blessed. I'm rich. So whenever I feel like, oh man, poor me, or until this day, or whatever I feel like awkward about some kind of thing, I'm like, I just flip it right back into all the things that I have that are amazing. And I'm like, dude, focusing on the wrong shit. You know what I mean? Because that's just neurologically, that's why it speaks to me so much, because I know whatever you're putting in your subconscious thought process, not are we poor because we're eating egg rice, but dude, we have a house. I have my own room. Some people don't have that. That is what your subconscious needs to be looking at and finding things to make that true, because that's all it's going to do. Your subconscious thought process is going to take your thoughts and fact find them for you. Yeah. And I felt the news for so many years have been helping us fact find all the crummy, negative, scary, terrifying things. And I was just like, that's bullshit. Like, I can't buy into that, because all I'm going to do is think the worst. And so that's the person that I've become through my life now at 57, 58, 57, 58, 59.
59 is what I heard last time. Right. Last night it was 59.
By the time we're done with this interview, it's going to be 80.
No, it doesn't go like that. It's just like, because I don't think about age as a number. That's another thing too. A number is just, people look at me and they want to see a birth certificate or like, you're not 59. I take it as a compliment, but I just don't feel and act 59. But what is tricky, and I tell this to Jamie sometimes, I'm like, what is tricky is having a daughter that's the age that I act.
Yeah.
I act 30. She's 30. So I'm like, oh, Lord, I got to start acting.
She probably loves
older.
that, huh?
Yeah, she does. But
She actually does.
So the coolest part about having this show and doing this thing is to have people like Jamie, have people like my executive producer, Jay Pelham, and you guys, and meeting people and guests and having people on here and holding them up and shining a light on them. That is all stuff that you're putting out that's going to come back to you in such a way, I think. And I feel that it's just going to help them be the best that they can be. It's helping us be the best. And I'll say them at the end, but have these big 6 things that we always do. I can just say them now. So the first 3 is have empathy, humility, and compassion for yourself first. Highly motivated people. We don't always give ourselves to what we do, because we're like, man, I can't be cheering back there. I still have more work to do. Well, with all due respect, bullshit. You got to celebrate those little bitty victories along the way to where you're going. Because I got chills when I said that. Because when you do that, you feel so much better. And it gives you more gas in these vessels that we go around into, well, energy in the vessels that we have to go further, right? If you tell yourself that you can do it and you do something and then all of a sudden, wow. But you don't want to build a house and live there. You want to just enjoy it and keep on going to that place where you're trying to get to. But that's the first three. The last three is always help people, like we talked about, because helping is an inside thing, inside job. And then always be better than the day you were before. And if you go into competition with yourself, here's the trick, kids. You will only focus on yourself. My goal is to beat the shit out of the guy I was yesterday, and kindness and empathy and humility and compassion and learning and just everything. Opening doors for people 5 days yesterday, 6 today, tomorrow 7. You know, like if you start buying into that whole vibe and that energy, that's the 6th. That's the 5th one. The 6th one is the most important one, I think. Leave the world better than you found it. How do you do that? You can do it with air, water, food. Meeting you guys is making the world better than you found it, because you wake up before Burles. We didn't know anybody. We didn't know you guys. All of a sudden, we meet somebody, have a great encounter with them, have a podcast
Here
with
we
them,
are.
support their podcast.
Right?
Yeah.
Right here
I just got chills.
in Burles
Aw.
is making the world better than you, leaving the world better than you found it. It doesn't cost anything. How much did it cost us to be friends?
Nothing.
And we love it. We're going to be friends forever. I told that to Dennis a long time ago. I was like, man, I could tell from the road rage.
First phone call. What he's talking about is our very first phone call.
Yes.
He was driving and somebody cut him off.
Yeah.
And here's the positive vibes guy. All right, so I'm here.
It always sounds like, like he got punked or something.
Yeah, well, it's real. You know, it's real. But boy, he took himself back.
Yeah. I said that Stoics say basically you have to pause and reflect.
Pause and reflect.
Pause and reflect.
Say your alphabets if you really get, you know, and then the guy just disappeared out of us. He really did.
He
Well,
wasn't
tell the
really
rest
there.
of
He
the
was-
story. The rest of the story was you went up to him and
So we was driving. So I'm on I-10, first of all. I'm doing like 60 and a 60. But people freak out because of the phone. They can tell that I'm talking on the phone. So the guy comes up and literally cuts me off at 60, like just like in front of my car. So I was just like,
he's like,
and
hang
all
on
of
a
a
second.
sudden the
Dennis.
guy's like, he locks him
Great
up.
checks, yeah.
He and so I'm like, whoa. And then I'm just like on the phone with Dennis, and I'm like, man, this guy. Da, 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 da. And all of a sudden, we do the whole calm down thing. I'm driving. We get off the freeway, and the guy is like right there, and my license plate is a custom license plate for Steve Gleason, 211, right? And I look at this guy, and I'm kind of like looking at him with the phone, like kind of, yeah, I got your number kind of thing, you know, it's that kind of thing. And then he pulls up, and he's in a different lane, but I look at his license plate. He's got a Steve Gleason 257. And I'm like,
Pretty close.
I'm like, wow, 257. And I don't know if he realized, like, this guy can figure out who I am. And because he can look at mine too. So I just was like, looked at him, passed by, and I just was like, kind of like, it's not that really important. That's not that strong. And just cruise off. And I just never, but the guy lived not too far from here, because he got off at the same freeway where I got off, and it was like, he didn't say anything. He just kind of looked at me, and it was over. It was definitely put out. It wasn't a fire anymore.
This is my first experience with Leroy, by the way.
Yeah.
And even in the midst of that conversation, which resumed,
we did.
it all kind of happened, and we said, this is a lifetime.
we're gonna be friends
we're gonna
forever,
be friends.
There you go.
When you said David Margulies though, and then you said McHugh, I knew you already were in our zone, man. You were already in that zone where, like,
we work
feel
with
so fortunate.
we work with a gentleman who was one of the founders of Jam Bass. His name is Teddy Kartzman. I'm going to give him a shout out. He's helped us a lot.
All right, Teddy.
And Teddy, Teddy said, when you're doing this, you got to enter. There's certain front door opportunities that will help you, get open to other doors. And I'm going to hit that thing one more time.
It's okay.
And one of them is the New Orleans scene. Turned out to be a front door for us, just because we were welcomed in it, I guess, so much. But last year was amazing, and with Luther. Luther introduced us, and Wally, and Luther introduced us to Shaggy.
Oh, Nick. Let's not forget Nick.
So Shaggy, Shaggy and his the whole Crawfish Fest thing.
Nick, Shaggy,
But Nick
Burleson,
Burleson, major shout out to Nick, who has not stopped to this on the way here, connecting us with the Naughty Professor band with Noah there, the bass player. We're going to interview him. The Maple Leaf. So, but that kind of thing, talk about front doors. I mean, you guys are opening doors left and right for us to walk through. One of the things
about the New Orleans people, I got to be honest with us, is we are very hospitable. We always want to feed you. We want to talk your head off, and we don't want you to leave. Like that's all you need to know about New Orleans. We're gonna be like, hey. Wait, let me tell you this. Hey,
can you say a couple more days?
Did you try this?
Wait, Paul, where's that card again about a few words?
Unity. Unity.
No, the other one.
Right speech.
Right speech.
Say little, but when you speak, are the gentle words that touch the heart.
Yeah.
Be truthful, express kindness, abstain from vanity. This is the way.
That's
a beautiful thing.
That's a good one.
I want to ask
Feel free.
Jamie some questions too.
Get in there.
But I'm going to hang on to you because since we're still on you, the Whistle Monsta.
Yes.
I mean, because our listeners, viewers,
there it is.
there it is. Our listeners are, they're from all over, but we certainly have a stronghold in the Bay Area. So they might not know about the Whistle Monsta.
Oh, they know.
They know.
I've been there. I've been there a couple times.
Oh, you've come to.
I've been there.
You went to Candlestick, you said.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I've been there.
Scary.
A lot of these whistles I make every year.
Yeah.
Like this one.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
I wear that, and I wear those. I mean, they just on my head. Like that's a picture of me there. At the Saints game at Full Sun. Yeah,
so at the
Sunday.
risk,
Those, oh my God.
32 years.
At the risk of losing some of your local audience here, tell us about the genesis of the Whistle Monsta. And I know, I think it comes to starts with your grandmother. Was it that told you?
My grandmother told me that God gives everybody a talent.
There it is. Okay,
and you just have to find it. And if you find it and you don't use it, it could be a sin. Now, my grandma was this latest Native American woman, African American woman who was born in 1914, right? She had a reason to hate everybody, but she never did. She loved people so much. They called her Miss Sweetie. But she was very religious. She ended up being a reverend. She married people. People used to come to my house to pray for them. I even slept in a room a long time with an altar because she would pray for people. But the thing is, she said, Leroy, you got to find your talent. When you find your talent, you have to use it. If you don't use it, it's a sin. So I believed in that. My uncle taught me to whistle when I was about 15. In my 20s, I started to realize nobody can whistle louder than me. And I've been going to Saints games forever, just being this guy who just whistled loud in the airplane taking off, right? And with no costume. So I said, man, what am I going to do with this whistling? I was like, wait a minute. The Saints are terrible. I am going to take the hot air from 68,000 people. I'm going to make this whistle, put it on my head. I'm going to provide the sound, and I'm going to be a defensive character on 3rd and long, 4th and short, and I was just going to be a conductor of the orchestra, the 12th man in New Orleans, in Superdome. And 32 years later, like, here we are.
So, a lot of times we will ask musicians, as we said earlier, to sing. On the podcast, are we? Dare we ask you to whistle?
So I'm not going to do a loud whistle, right? Because the loud whistle is. I broke the world's record in 2002 on MTV, and here in New Orleans. And,
really?
Yeah, I was right out in front of St. Louis Cathedral. It was Britney Spears, Outkast, Mystical, No Doubt. It was on MTV too. It was a very long time ago. And the weirdest thing about that, even though I broke the record and everything, and Good Charlotte had just came out, and they interviewed me. They held the hand. One held a handheld decibel reader, and the other one was talking to me, interviewing me. And me and Carson Daly became good friends too. But the whole part about that is I didn't really even think about, the breaking a record. I was just so thrilled with, like, I remember seeing Eddie Murphy and all those guys with the MTV microphone.
Yeah.
They had the big MTV on it.
That's all you
I
cared
was
about.
holding
Oh my
that
gosh.
in the audition, and then I was like the
Oh
highlight
my
of
God.
my thing. I was like, wow, like I'm like holding
Yeah.
a MTV
I'm holding
mic.
the MTV mic. I have
It
so
was
much
awesome.
power.
So I'll do versatility. Like I know for a fact I'm probably one of the best whistlers that you probably ever seen, because I can whistle all sorts of, like, each finger, like, right, and I can go like.
Wow.
I've been on like albums with Dr. John. One of the first ones I ever did.
Yeah, I recorded you first with James 12 Andrews and
Yeah.
Doc's on there. Yeah.
A lot of people. Jamie was one of my
And,
first recordings. And how many years ago was that?
Oh, geez, that was 2007.
Yeah, a long time ago. And then so I've
That's
been
amazing you
on
can
recently Ivan, Greatest Place on Earth. Kermit Ruffins.
Kermit Ruffins did a whole song about him called "Hey Whistle, Blow the
Blow
Whistle."
the Whistle.
Really?
It's the Mardi Gras
Yeah.
second line.
Yeah, and then I did Rebirth. I was on with Rebirth and some Hot 8. So I've been on some music, and I learned and I realized, I was like, man, a few years ago, maybe 6-7 years ago, I was like, you know what? Whistling is taking all of the air out of the room for the rest of my talents. Like, I always knew I had the gift of gab. Clearly, like I knew that one, but then I was just like, wait a minute, I have other talents, So I started doing some speaking. Like I spoke for the first time. I spoke to this college kids, and they were in the media. They were graduating and to go into camera. So the instructor, she wanted me to speak to the kids on two parts. One was I had a show called Only Good Vibes News Network, where these kids have learned if it doesn't bleed, it doesn't lead. So she wanted me to talk to them about doing a positive news show. And then she also said, you have a brand that you built that you're going to be on the opposite side of the camera and you'll be on this side of the camera. So I think it'd be great. Would you mind talking to them? I was like, sure. Because I was like embracing this at this time, more talents. So I went and talked to them, and I just kept it very loose and just put them in situations where they were stressed out. I'd show them how to not be stressed out and what I would do in that situation. And then they were just gave me a standing ovation. And I was like, wow, that was pretty good. And I was talked to an auditorium of kids, but it worked out. And in that same week, it's just crazy how things happen. I was talking about, I felt like I could do some things on a mic, like I could do some stuff, right? And they called me to whistle, and Ivan called the same week too, to whistle Professor Longhair's song Big Chief and Mardi Gras. Ivan asked me to learn it in like 2 days, and I didn't know we were going to be doing it at the Mint upstairs in like a 50 person room, that little room up there. And I had to whistle and learn the songs, whistle it. Like, I didn't know if I can whistle in key, because it's like, that's not it, right? But it's like, they had to go like a fill up the air like a trumpet kind of thing. I figured that out. And this is all just things that I was just embracing, because I was like, I think I can do this.
He called me. He's like, I got to go on stage. He's like, I don't know anything about this. You got to come over here and help me.
I was like,
So I downloaded the track and came over here. I was like, look, you got to break it into pieces. I was like, learn this little section, and then once you get that, then we'll go to the next section.
Yep.
So like you just broke it into pieces and went down
That's
and
amazing.
that was
trained him
instrumental
how
to
do it.
learning how to do any song. Not just that song. That was very instrumental.
How do you apply it to the games then? So it's like fourth and goal or third and short.
That's when the big whistle comes out.
Oh, God.
No, that's when the big. Well, you're good. You're good. Hey man, look, I'm the same way. Like I have to like sit on my hands sometimes, because I'm always like, But
So
if you think
so
about
the
a concert's 97 decibels, right?
yeah, okay.
And an airplane taking off, it's 120 decibels. I broke the world's record on MTV at 123 decibels.
With just your whistle.
Yeah, it was just fingers. Like,
All right.
I'll do it outside for you.
So,
but in here,
all right. So the crowd is waiting. Are they waiting for you on the short?
No, some of them are booing and like looking at their phones like they like. You got to think about the Saints. They're not that great. It's not like we have this huge. So Saints fans get passionate and being a great fan mixed up. Just because you're passionate doesn't mean you're a great fan.
Yeah.
They're passionate, or they're not the best fan. So me, I'm like, it's never helped anyone to be booed or say you stink and you're like they got better.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll just lead by example again with like the positivity and like that. And it's just a way, again, it's an upbringing and the way I am and the way I look at it. I was like taking the lemons, not only turning into lemonade, make a stand, not only make a stand, get a franchise and move on. That's what I do with bad news.
How does when you stand up and whistle in those situations, what does the crowd? I mean, besides they start whistling, or do they start?
No.
Just
Depends on how close they're sitting, because if they're sitting real close, they go like this.
I bring earplugs too, because I cause damage to people's ears. But it depends. So like if I'm whistling and I'm the only person whistling and it's third down and they really just like crap a couple other plays, people will start cheering more because I whistled and I was the only person standing up doing it. And now people are like, yeah, yeah. Sometimes I get all hyped up. I'm like, yeah, we're going to need you for more than just one down.
Right.
You know, I might give them a shot like that. But I mean, I'm literally there. I don't care if I'm the only person there by myself. I really don't.
That's a good fan.
That's amazing.
That's a good fan. All right, thank you. I had to get the Whistle Monsta thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But
absolutely.
All right, Jamie. New Orleans musician. Where do you hail from?
I'm originally from West Virginia.
That's right. You
West
said
by
that.
God, Virginia, as they say. Just like Sierra Farrell, actually.
That's right. Exactly. So you got here, and now you're in this music community. I mean,
you know, when I first came to town, I came here as a writer, not as a musician at all. And I edited Where You At magazine, which is one of the local entertainment magazines. I edited that for about 2 years, and started working on my own writing. I published a book with UNO Press based on a song I had written, but I didn't have aspirations to be a performing musician.
Right.
But James Andrews came to me one day and said he was having a recording session, and would I come and see if I heard anything in the music. So I showed up and wrote some songs with him, and then he asked me to produce that record. And that record ended up being James Andrews and the Crescent City All-Stars. That record ended up being James Andrews and the Crescent City All-Stars, and that was released in 2009, I think. And it featured so many famous New Orleans musicians. Dr. John was on there. The late Kevin O'Day was the drummer on there. And Charmaine Neville sang on there. A lot of old Indian chiefs. Tyrone Miller, who's a legend in the Mardi Gras Indian community, he sang on there. It was really a neat experience. And after doing that, I was hooked.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I got to put my songs out there. Because I'd already been writing songs, but I'd just been keeping them to myself.
Right.
But I was like, I've got to get my songs out there. So I started my own music career at that point.
That's amazing.
And been doing a lot of co-writing here in town for people, because I'm primarily a word guy. You know, when I started, performing, it was as a spoken word poet.
Oh, it was?
Oh, really?
Okay. Cool. Oh. So right now you're playing guitar, though, you say?
Now I play guitar and sing, write songs, and this year I got a Threadhead Music grant, to produce a record of horny country music with horns.
Right.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I love
figured
that. I love that.
I worked at the Rebirth Brass Band on Tuesday nights at the Maple Leaf for about 15, 17 years actually. So like brass band music is a part of me now, and I've always wanted to combine that with my songwriting talents and my own sort of West Virginia music sensibilities, my sort of country accent, if you will,
or lack thereof, right?
Or lack thereof, right? And put that with my love of the New Orleans brass music. So I've been writing those tunes, and they're coming along great.
Yeah, that's great.
And I'm about to go into the recording after this festival season kind of goes through. I'll probably record all June.
And do you feel any kind of what's the word I want to use to be part of this scene? Pressure is not the right word, but do you feel something that you have to live up to?
What's amazing about this scene, and especially my introduction with it, working with a legend like Dr. John and a legend like James Andrews, is that when you're a part of New Orleans music scene, you're part of a musical continuum.
Yeah,
in other places they play music. Some people play blues music, and some people play jazz music, but they're playing the music. Here, the music is alive. The music's coming out and through people, and it's a part of our culture. It's a part of our everyday life. You can't walk around without hearing music in this town. You'll hear it coming out of, you'll hear a marching band practicing in the neighborhood for Mardi Gras. You'll hear music coming out of people's houses. They're practicing music. You'll hear a second line erupt in a street, down the street from a funeral or a wedding.
Yeah.
Like, music is just such a part of our culture. It's so baked in here that it's a living, breathing thing. And so other people, I found the difference between making music in New Orleans and in other places is that you are part of this musical continuum that started in Congo Square and has with the African diaspora, and especially, I don't know if you've seen the documentary Rumble. But it's about the connection between modern pop music and Native American culture, about how when the slave culture, the polyrhythmic slave culture, met the Native American 4-beat, boom, 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 boom.
I did see that.
When those two things met, that created what we know as modern pop music. When that 4-beat hit the polyrhythm, and they clashed and melded and came together right here in Congo Square, in the Treme, in New Orleans. That created what we know as popular American music. I mean, that 4-beat, and a lot of people say, well, African music and Scottish songs made it. Well, that too, but you cannot leave this Native American aspect out of it. So about being a part of the New Orleans music scene, I feel in touch with a continuum. And I said this to a friend of mine who's from Colorado, who came here and started writing with me and recorded with some local musicians. I said, hey, you're a part of the continuum now of this music. Like, you're a part of this living stream of music that goes all the way back, and you can draw from that. It can influence you. Yeah, so that's, for me, that's what being a New Orleans musician is really about, is being a part of that continuum, contributing my little voice, my little piece, my little ideas to this thing that is so much bigger than me or any individual musician performing right now.
And being respectful of it as well, right? I mean,
you have to be respectful of it.
I think that's
and you have to be not only respectful of it, but you have to find this balance where you're able to innovate. Where you're able to innovate, and still be respectful of the culture, where you're able to take what you're hearing and what you're seeing and bring it through your own voice without exploiting it.
Yeah, without copying, so to speak, right? Yeah. So bringing your own, whatever it is that you're bringing to it, but based on
flavor,
that,
we'll call
your own flavor. Yeah. And that's such a big part of improvisation too, right? Because
it is.
If you could go sound like the old New Orleans musicians, but that's one thing. But if you bring your own piece to it, it's a whole nother thing.
And it sounds like a real honor, and it is to be a real honor to be part of the continuum, but there's another side to it. There's not only a huge responsibility, but, on a given Thursday or something, you might find yourself weeping over just some piano player who's died, who's other people have never heard of. But you're part of this thing now, When Dr. John died, I was mourning. But, I called my friend in Des Moines. He never heard of Dr. John. Really? I mean, if he did, he knows one song. But it wasn't a huge loss for him. He could still turn on the radio. But me, I met Doc. I knew what it meant to be around this person and what flavor he brought to this continuum and how just what a tremendous loss it was that he disappeared from it. And Doc's a big name in that. But, there are smaller people who are part of this thing. I mean, when, God forbid, it should happen, but everybody goes, right? If someone like, say, Shannon Powell were to pass, like, most people in the world wouldn't know about that. But, people who are part of the continuum, like me or even you at this point as fans, we're going to be mourning that day. And so there's a lot of responsibility that comes with being part of the continuum, but deeper than that, there's an emotional commitment that you make that's maybe the deepest part of the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah, I think that goes back to what I was saying. We feel privileged to be, for whatever part we're
I'm truly
playing
privileged.
in this,
Authentically,
whether
Right.
we're bringing the culture back to the Bay or around the country. Just to be sitting here and amongst these, you just feel it. I mean, seeing George Porter, walk in the Maple Leaf, it's just, you just feel. You just feel
I think
it.
that feeling and the way that you're using your hands, it really points to the fact that it's family. That that being a part of this continuum makes a family connection.
Yeah.
And that family connection, has its own set of responsibilities, good and bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, George, speaking of George, he and Chris Atkins and the rest of the other two guys that we met last night, I can't think of their names.
Terrence Houston.
Yes, thank you. They came to the Sweetwater we talked about earlier in Mill Valley, and the crowd, 2 sold out shows there, and the crowd was, they were just at another level of being connected to music, and that doesn't happen with even at other sold out shows there, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's interesting. I've always been interested in the history, but for some reason, this trip, and maybe it's just all these different connections, but walking from French Quarter to our hotel, and just a typical walk down Bourbon Street, and for some reason, it just seeped in. And when I got home, all I wanted to do was just go watch documentary after documentary. and he was just like, come on, you got to, you don't understand. You don't understand. I wanted to talk about it in all of the interviews, but everybody else knows everything that I'm just now really learning in depth, right? But it's like, wow, yeah, I feel there's been a shift. I guess people are deadheads. There's a moment for a lot of them, usually taking acid, but where they get it, suddenly they get it. And we've been to New Orleans, it was 2017, but for some reason I got it shifted this time. It went deeper, and I want to know more.
I look at it like you guys jumping into a pool, right? You're not going to not get wet.
Right.
You're going to feel New Orleans when you come here.
Yeah.
You're going to taste it.
Yeah.
You're going to breathe it. You're going to smell it. You're going to feel it, right? And that's one of the things that I love being a 6th generation New Orleanian about, is looking at people who come here and literally falling in love with the person. You miss that person when you go on and you fall in love with them. You can't stop thinking about them. You're like, man, you remember the memories that you had. And then you're like, I got to get back and see him again.
That's exactly.
That same.
Exactly. It's a perfect way to describe that feeling. Yeah. That's how I feel this time.
They often call New Orleans a female. They're like, you love her, you miss her, and you see her, and it's like an old friend that you really just. And then when you go and us, we have a bond now, right? And that's what people come here when they come here, whether it was that one time in the French Quarter, that one time wherever they were at this restaurant, and a brass band came in, or they walked out on the street as simple as with a drink. I can do this.
I've seen a lot of that here.
There's a part of that that you don't ever lose.
No.
Like a good friend.
Yeah.
It's like I'm already thinking about, God, we're going to be here another 8 days, and I'm already worried about the fact that we have to leave.
I know.
And thinking about when we're coming back.
I was counting the days. I was like, how many days do we have left?
Another thing I want to say to you guys is, the next time you come here, you're going to be using the studio.
There we go. There's an idea.
Please let us lose the studio.
That'd be awesome.
You got a new spot now.
That means you have to have a concert out there, though, because
there you go. We'll have a little backyard show out here.
We could probably arrange that.
Seriously.
All right. Well, you guys have about 9 more interviews to do today.
How many do you have coming up?
Yeah.
There's so much more we want to ask. Well, I have a feeling that we should do this. Every year we should have kind of an update.
Yeah.
Don't
We'll
you
definitely
think?
come back for this.
There's so much. Yeah.
Well, we give a yearly visit. When are you coming out to the Bay? That's my question.
Yeah.
There you go. When are we going to the Bay?
We'll host you. We have a big building. You can stay.
I have a friend of ours who lives in Marin County, a friend, Andy Scott's brother.
George.
No, George is not his brother. This is a friend of his. They did the movie. Again, it's a friend of ours, Andy, who you guys know probably from Margulies and all. They came and did a movie on a friend of ours, Frenchie.
Oh, right.
Crew of Oak.
Of course.
The King of Oak. The King of Oak.
Yeah.
He was the king, and it was the year of Katrina when they came to film him. And they were filming, and during Katrina, like everybody was like, first of all, it was 75% of the Gulf was this thing. So we didn't know where it was going. Texas, nobody knew where it was going to go. My family normally goes to Florida. So my wife had already left and went to Florida, but people had left. It was only 2,000 people with a police escort, Rebirth Brass Band, and Trombone Shorty was leading us. And if someone was to give me a pen and paper and say, hey, look, New Orleans is never going to be the way it was now. You could do anything you want to tonight. Here's a pen and paper. Write what you want to happen. I could have never written this or even thought about it. But to have Trombone Shorty, Rebirth Brass Band, and a police escort to second line us through, we know the Crew of Oak, we go from Carrollton Station to the Christmas bar, Snake and Jake's, and we do this little route and come back and have a big party at the Maple Leaf. Well, that's what we did with 2,000 people. And then after that, the next day, they were like, everybody out, leave. I drove a normal, takes 5 hours. Me and Frenchie drove 13 hours to Florida.
Wow.
And New Orleans was never the same since. But, you know,
so that was like
just
your
something that happened that we did that was really monumental for us to remember as far as being
for sure
the last times here, you know. And I lost everything in Katrina Lake. Houses, car, but not one person, no loved one or anything. So, and now look at all this stuff.
Look at
Right.
this.
I don't even know where to put
I'm like,
half the stuff that I have.
this has all been collected since
Out
then.
here is the
Yeah.
answer. Put it all out here, right?
Yeah, exactly, my wife. But
Wow.
it's been a pleasure. Jamie didn't get a chance to talk to you guys about his acting.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, it's been a wonderful show. Either way, you can find me on IMDb, but I'm also in the Treme series. I'm backing Steve Earle on the street. In
Okay,
Treme.
that's when. Okay.
Yeah, so
That's what I was
I've been in
watching.
a couple of local performances and appeared on stage here and stuff. But
Nice.
that's an ongoing thing for me.
Okay.
But
Looking for
I'm
you.
just really happy to be a performing musician. You know,
Yeah.
and to be a writer who's participating in this continuum.
That continuum.
Yeah.
You
I love
have the,
that
you have the
continuum.
soundbite of the week so far.
I know.
That's
The
fantastic.
continuum.
Yeah, well, check him out, everybody, because
Yeah, absolutely.
JamieBernstein.com or Jamie Bernstein Music on Instagram.
Okay, great.
absolutely, and see what it's like
And
to
good
be part.
vibes.
Only Good Vibes News
Only
Network.
good. So the only. So we share that. The
We do.
only in the green room.
Only in the
good
green room.
vibes.
Yeah, we're going to definitely do, this show is going to go out as one show for both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you guys
Yeah.
too, and you can do whatever you want
That's
with
beautiful.
Love.
it. And we'll
love
plug
it.
each other, and we're going to continue this relationship throughout this week, and we're going
That's
to
for sure.
cultivate it even more. And we may even come back with something that we just feel like we just can't hold in. We should get out on
Yeah.
on the thing. You know?
Well, we can
not?
supplement it with our equipment when we have our new equipment coming.
I
this
don't know
afternoon.
about that. I think they've got
And,
equipment.
But yes, well, find us on onlyinthegreenroom.com.
Yes.
And once you get there, you can see all our episodes and link to
YouTube.
newsletters and photos and YouTube
Yes.
and all those things.
It's
So,
still scrappy, but it's good.
Anything
Still
you guys
scrappy.
want to tell anybody out there before we bounce?
Love each other.
Yes. Good one.
Love each other.
That's a good one.
Love each other.
follow us and subscribe. What about that?
Yeah.
What I like to say, and I haven't had a chance to say it in a minute, is the world is full of good people. If you don't see one, be one.
Oh yeah. Nice.
And, you know,
Make the
I
change.
have added this also, Jay, recently. What I've added was, it's never a bad time to spread good news. It is. And look, just like Dennis said, for the Only Good Vibes News Network and Only in the Green Room, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification button so you can know when we all happening, and tell everybody about it, because it's a good vibe to be in the Only in the Green Room and to be with Only Good Vibes News Network.
Mic
Who
drop.
dat?
Who dat?
Who dat?
Walking, stepping down the street.